Okay.
Right. Welcome back to the Natural Physique Podcast, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again. The boys are back, I think, a week later. We're all good, aren't we? We've done the week on week. This week, we're going to talk about random shit once again. We're going to get into some topics about post-prep, and then possibly a little bit of a chat about holidays as well, because I head off to Madeira tomorrow. It's supposed to be the hardest airport to fly into in the world, so I hope I don't die. See how it
Mm.
goes.
Ronaldo's ends.
Hmm?
Ronaldo's ends.
Yeah, the airport is called Cristiano Ronaldo Madeira Airport or something.
I don't know where they have that statue of him as well. The
If
fucked up
it
one.
is, I'll
Yeah,
have
it's
it next
dodgy
time.
one. Get a selfie with it.
Yeah, like a wee three
So,
purple right next
what's
time
the what's the reasoning behind the holiday, Josh?
to go on holiday. To go get some sunshine
I
to
thought it was for Casey's birthday.
no, you got it mixed up with the other one, but it still counts technically.
Oh, did I? And I put in the chat happy birthday.
Yeah, I mean our birthday's in a week and a bit's time. So you've kind of got it right, kind of not. But I don't want
Okay.
to see too much or say too much. It's not as if she's going to be tuning into the Natural Physique podcast anyway,
You're
though.
not on the hub?
I know. She better be watching every single episode. How to improve your training, your prep, your posing, how to hit a front lat spread. Perfect.
Had
Um,
some positive feedback on the hub. Had a lad sign up yesterday, and basically for people who don't know, whenever we get like a new client sign up, obviously it takes a couple of days to get their programming ready. So within that time frame, we send them the link to the hub so they can like watch the onboarding video and they can have a look around at all the content and stuff. I signed up a guy yesterday and he was like, the all the content on there is fucking sick, like all the training stuff,
Class.
especially the prep series.
Oh, prep series
That's
is
his favorite one.
incredible.
My favorite. So much content, guys.
That's a joke, guys,
But
because I'm doing the prep series, but because of the gym opening, I had to put it on the back burner.
It's okay, we'll get there one day. Maybe the prep series was the friends that we made along the way. Maybe that's it.
yeah.
Coming back, coming back.
Yeah, I think I'll be a help.
How's the how's the new car, Josh?
I am loving it. Very, very good. Um, Fast, loud, convertible. Brilliant.
Ruined it with the last bit.
Mate, you do not understand how good it is to be able to, on a sunny day, just go, roof, get it down. Mate, see the engine, how much better it sounds with the roof
You know
down.
what though? Everybody thinks you're
Impeccable.
homosexual.
I don't care, that's better. Any guys want to jump in? Go for it. Go for
Jump
it.
in, jump on, boys.
Yeah, yeah, straight on it. Is that the gear knob? No, no, no. No. No, yeah, mate, it makes it so much better. Like I'm so glad with my choice because there was an F-Type, just the coupe or the coupe. It wasn't the convertible. There was an option for that as well. A little bit more expensive, a slight bit newer, but there was option to either go that or that one. But there's a video on YouTube where it's showing you the change in noise from the roof being up versus roof down, and it's night and day. Like it enhances the driving experience so much, and that's what I bought it for,
Yeah.
realistically. So. Yeah, sun out, roof down, just bombing it. It's incredible. Scotland's weather's so bad right now though. It's got a wee snow mode like yours does, so I need to put it in that quite often.
Yeah.
Um,
It does help, to be fair. It does work.
yeah, like when you put your foot down, literally nothing happens. Like it's
Yeah.
just super slow.
It's like it brings, I don't know, does it bring the revs down and it like, I'm not
Yeah.
sure exactly what it does.
So the throttle response, like when you put the throttle down, it doesn't, actually respond quite as harshly. It's not as responsive, so it means that it's like much more dull, but that's obviously a lot safer because it's rear wheel drive for anyone that's wondering why both our cars are. So it means when you put a bit of beans into it and it's wet, then you've got a large chance of just launching it into a tree. So
I've only spun mine once.
yeah, you can do this kind of intentionally quite well. Like I've had the back end out a few times. It's got an E-diff at the
Hanging
back.
out the back, you're hanging out the back of it
Yeah, hanging at the back of the car.
a few
One
times.
four exhaust hose. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's
Noah,
really but good.
Noah, how's the diet going?
Oh, it's going fantastic. It's going fantastic. To be fair, I'm 3 pounds down now. Um, and yeah, it's nothing too exciting. I'm just enjoying eating less. I was more food focused in the off season. My
Mate, literally before we started, you just were like, I heard you like, I can't wait, I've got a meal in an hour.
yeah, yeah, but like that's just been a bit peckish. But like the boys can back me. Like I do. I'm a fan of food. But I'm not all that arsed now. So
The diet eliminates like the kind of whole off plan thing, doesn't it, as well? So it
yeah,
means that you've got so much, you're not thinking about that as much, and you're not thinking, because I'm like, even in off season, I'm like, I'd love to eat off plan food, but like my actual normal meals, I'm just like, meh. But see, when you've got that thought of like off plan food, it does make you a lot hungrier. So I can
See,
imagine.
I don't have that. Like, I enjoy an off-plan meal based on a social event if it's needed. Like, I don't. What are you looking at?
I'm just thinking about how every Saturday night I sit alone in my bedroom with a tub of Ben and Jerry's.
That is the social event. That's the social occasion. You and your
Oh.
Ben and Jerry's having.
That is that was pretty sociable, mate. No, but I
I
think
like that as well.
if I had more spare time, like there was a time like a couple of weeks ago where I had like a few hours. I think I finished work. I think it was a Saturday and I didn't have any plans. And I'd finished all work and I'd like got back to all meshes and stuff. I was like, oh sick. So I cooked myself a steak. That was nice. But like that was because I had time. I think if you've got more time on your hands, you're more food focused.
I think
This is a good segue onto what we're going to talk about.
I was gonna say I think that what was I gonna say? And you've just put me off, Finn.
I think that your car's gay.
Yeah, that is it. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Again, any gay guys, please, please, please do message me. Actually, a guy messaged me who owns like a similar to what you've got, Finn, with the Mustang meetup that you're going to. A guy messaged saying that he likes the new Jag and that he runs the whole Jaguar thing. And I went onto his
Cool.
page and it was pretty much just loads of photos of him naked. So I was like, ah, sign me up, mate.
Really?
Can I meet you there? Is that
Was
okay?
that do it?
Jump away. Yeah, yeah. He's like into fitness and stuff, bless him. But like there was a photo of him sunbathing and like it was only the protein shaker that was covering his knob.
Oh yeah, will you send me the link?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't
just so I
want
know what account not to look at.
anyone else wanting it, let me
Just I
know.
don't. Okay, yeah.
I'll send you. But they have
You
loads
should have
of,
signed him up.
I know they
Should have
have
sent him a payment link.
Jaguars. Mate, I had a no, no, it wasn't you. No, it was Brandon that had a guy send over inquiry photos, just bald
My
naked.
God, that was
This is
it was
brilliant.
quarter ton had this knob out.
Yeah, quarter ton that was just hanging there, and
Really?
Yeah,
he put like a wee black box, but like completely in the wrong place. I was like, mate, what are you doing?
I'm pretty sure he covered his arse and not his cock. It
Yeah,
was fucking brilliant.
because he done it to me when I was like, he must have been like pretty young as well. Like he really didn't look old at all. But he done it when I was 17. He done it when Brandon was 17. So he must have a fucking thing for that. But I was like, mate, sign up the fucking payment link straight away. More of these. I'll pay you if you can send me them on a weekly
Yeah,
basis.
mate. I bet.
But yeah, that was an interesting experience. But I'm actually signed up for one of the Jaguar meetups in August, so that would be good.
That'd be cool.
I was going to say something about off-plan meals, but I entirely forgot what it was. Oh no, yeah, I think off-plan meals are better for conveniency. You were saying that, oh, if I wasn't as busy. See if it's just like, all right, I've not got a meal prepped. Like on a busy day, I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna go at the end of tonight instead of trying to prep the meal and try and sort it out. I'm gonna get a Domino's, I'm gonna get a Nando's or something like that. I find that
No, I know what you mean, but I
that
don't
drop
mean that.
because I'm not having to think about this and that. It's just like, all right, I know tonight that I've got a wee off-plan meal. I'll sit and watch some TV and just chill. That's
Yeah,
what I
but
can do.
like what I mean by like being busy is I basically have all my meals prepped by the time I leave for the gym pretty much now every day, and
Yeah,
I don't get back till most nights. Don't get back till like 9:30, 10:30, depending on when I finish. So
yeah,
like that's what I mean by like I'm busy to the point where it's like I don't even have time to get off my meal. It's like
I guess
I'd
so.
rather just get home and get to bed.
Fair.
Hashtag grinding.
I just prefer to binge like every day.
Oh
Same.
yeah.
Fair. Yeah, yeah.
Same.
Are we going to talk about
Hey
post-show
mate.
show foods and how to reverse? What was
Yeah,
Mikey's actual
Mikey.
question?
Yeah.
Matt, do you remember?
Um, Off the top of my head, I think was what are your approaches for post prep and how to handle it or something like that mentally.
Who wants to go for it? Finn, you're scanning food. You're scanning food.
Finn's, Finn's the fucking coach.
I actually think Matt's probably a good. Not that you guys didn't manage your post show as well. You both did, but I think Matt's somebody who's good to talk to about it because he's done it now twice, and
Mm.
he's both times very good. To be fair, like you haven't fucked up your off season either time. You might not think it's good, but it is, mate. Like you have managed it pretty well. So
Yeah, I suppose in the big pictures probably have
I would
because
actually say for you as well, yours starts within the prep. because you're not somebody who's doing all these diet hacks in the prep. You eat whole food, you just eat what you'd eat in off season, but you eat a little bit less of the calorie dense stuff and a little bit more of the lower calorie stuff. Like you have a bit more veg, a bit more lower calorie fruit, etc. Um, so yeah, like I think you're good, and also because I am finishing my meal, I want you to explain how you have handled it both times, and if there's things that you think you could have done better, which there always is,
But yeah, they're
go through that as
definitely
well.
yeah. I think the definitely the second time is easiest. Like the second time you go through it is a lot easier. First time you don't really know what to expect, and you've probably heard people say, "Oh, post prep is harder than the actual prep," but you don't actually know about that or know what it feels like until you are post prep. But it's just that I suppose the difficult part of post prep is the fact that you don't have that immediate goal. Like you don't have a show to go for. That sort of like we've talked about like urgency within a prep, like always chasing down a goal. Like you don't have that anymore. Like let's say you come out of prep, you might think, okay, next time I get on stage is going to be 2, 3 years. Like your sort of goals and your motivation does just dip a little bit. But I don't know. It is a difficult one. I think when you just have a lot of people around you as well, sort of saying, "Oh, you deserve this. You deserve to have a little bit of food." That's one of the most annoying, but also most difficult parts because you feel
Normalized, isn't it, for everyone to be so food focused? And it's like, I think we mentioned it last time, like on the interviews after you win your class, the first question is, what are
what do
you
you
gonna
haven't
do?
eaten? Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like, it's so everyone's so focused on what you're gonna eat, what you're gonna do, this and that, and there's like a whole thing built up around it. I remember Larry Wheels ate like 40,000 calories like after the show day, and everyone was like, "Oh, this looks fucking mint."
Like
Like, no,
glorified.
no, it
do you not
doesn't.
think it is like more glorified now? Like people are actually like making it a thing to binge on what
Yeah.
you're eating post show.
Because
I
it gets
like when
so many
I did my
clicks,
first
gets
season,
so
it
many
wasn't like
views.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a content kind of thing now
Yeah, it's so
to
popular on
binge.
social media. Anything
Even
food
at social,
related.
they've got stalls with just like the high calorie dense cookies. Everything.
Always think that you're actually just it's
I
as if
know.
you're going into like a rehab place and going, there's some fucking drugs for you.
Yeah.
Somebody has been betting, you just go, mate, look at this. And you've got it right
That's
here
what
waiting for them.
that's what Reese's mum said. She was like, bit weird to have all this food at a bodybuilding show. It's literally like,
Yeah.
if you were to walk out of rehab and then loads of drug there, it's very, very odd.
Good
Um,
business wise for the minute.
huh?
I said it's good for them business wise, the cookie places. Maybe we need to start doing that.
Exactly.
Natural physique
Yeah, we should
cookies.
eat cookies, yeah.
Yeah. See us at the next show. You guys
But
getting
yeah,
on
like
today? No, just fucking cookies.
to be fair, Matt, you are somebody who, like I say, I would class as a client that has managed their post show phases like pretty damn well. But obviously, you also have a little bit of flexibility. So, like, how have you like approached it in the past? Like, and what have you done to be able to? Because obviously, like, you've gone out for meals with your mum and dad and stuff.
I think it was what you kind of said about making the off-plan meals as sociable as you can. Like when you do that first Tesco shop post show, when you're just walking down the fucking past the bakery and you just smell everything, like you just need to like go straight past it and just think, right, at least for the first couple of weeks or couple of months, try and make every off-plan a social meal. Like go out with friends, go out with family, just enjoy being together with people in like a normal environment and associating food with that rather than just associate it with what I've been doing recently and sitting in my bedroom eating fucking ice cream. Um, but like,
Animal.
yeah, um, yeah, I think obviously making it a social thing, also making it, like don't be going to like buffets and shit like that. Like I remember I went to a barbecue after my first show, and it was like because people obviously knew I'd finished my bodybuilding show, they were just like handing me plates and plates of food. It was just like I think I must have eaten about 8 burgers, like not even joking. And then the sausages were flying out, the chicken was coming, and it's just like your body just doesn't want to tell you to stop. Like you can't stop. Um. So yeah, obviously going to a restaurant, you're limited to first course or starter, main, dessert. That's not horrendous. Like you could keep that within 1,500 calories. The best way to probably do it is just to remove or replace it with 2 meals. Or yeah, I'd probably say 2 meals. I'm not sure about how you guys go about it. I suppose it depends on how
I
much food you're
usually
having.
I
To be
always say
fair,
to people like just pulling back food for the day, like try have it on a training day because you've got the most food anyway. If you're doing like if you're training in the evenings, your first two meals just have like relatively low carb, like 25 carbs, something like that. Have your usual pre-workout meal so you get the same fuel going into the session, and then replace your post-workout meal with the off-plan meal. So it means that you've already banked like loads of calories, and your post-workout meal is going to be your highest calorie meal of the day anyway, or one of the highest calories, sorry. So I think replacing it with that works really well. Doing that one times per week, I think having like structure towards your off-plan meals as well is good. Otherwise, like you just rely on how you feel, and at that point, it's just going to be extremely, extremely hungry. It's like, all right, I'm hungry. I'm going to go for an off-plan meal instead of being like, all right, this is the day that I'm going to do it. Or at the start of the week, you think like, what social occasions do I have? I'm going to make that my off-plan meal for this week. Trying to keep it to like one or two meals and make them relatively sensible. It's just like training. Like if you didn't have set training days, you probably wouldn't train like as often as you do because you're busy. Everyone's got shit to do. It's the same, if you feel busy, you're not going to train. If you feel hungry, you're probably just going to want to eat, but have structure towards things so you actually have something to follow. Otherwise, you end up just going to lose in the plot a little bit. And I think like with your appetite and with eating off-plan meals, you can eat so much on a certain day, and then the next day you're still going to wake up and be hungry because you're lean. Like you need to understand that it's not going to solve all your problems. If you go and eat loads and loads and loads, the next day you're still going to wake up, or even maybe not, maybe one day, but 2 days later, you're probably still going to be hungry again. So understanding that and that it's just doing more damage than any good. So that's what I always say to my clients as well.
Noah, do you remember what we did for you?
Um, what post-show for me? We pulled up food quite well. We tried to gain a good bit of weight straight out of the gate because hormonally I was a bit fucked. Like towards the back end, I was like collapsing. I wasn't responding well. Like my body was just starting to struggle. But it wasn't even like I was fucking inside out or anything like that. My body was just not taking too well. Iron was on the floor because I got bloods done. What was it, 6 or 8 weeks post show? Um,
Around that.
Around that. My test, so I initially thought my test was fucked, but my test was 24 nanomoles, like 8 weeks post prep. And I was like, fucking take
Hi,
that.
mate.
Exactly. I was like, I'll take that.
That's the
But
fucking
I was,
top shagger.
no, I definitely was not, that's for sure, mate.
Banana
Uh,
not working. Jeez, oh.
yeah.
What's that from?
No, I don't know, random quote. Random quote.
Um, but yeah. That was, to be fair, post show for me was difficult. I managed it well in some aspects, and I could have improved a lot in other aspects. Like I remember eating Krispy Kremes and Asda, but I also remember being on plan and doing what I needed to do.
You pay for them,
Uh,
or you just eat them, you steal them.
I
Steal them
can't
straight out of the cupboard.
He was getting a digestion walk while he was doing it though. So like that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole process. Tell me,
Um,
because that is funny.
I can't incriminate myself in the podcast, can
Mate,
I?
who cares? It was like years ago and you had a couple Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, I
so
would
you did
just put
steal them.
I'd put
Too right, you
like
did.
I'd put like two Krispy Kremes in the packet and then eat them walking around Asda and then just crumple up the packet and like throw it away and then walk out. And I'd just buy like a Volvic bottle of water to be like, oh, I've got something.
I did pay for something.
Yeah, I got something. So yeah, like that aspect, don't do that. But I've obviously learned from that. And one thing that even back when what was it? I was 19 when I prepped. I couldn't imagine eating off plan during prep. Like I understand
Yeah, you were very regimented.
the cravings come in a lot more. And fuck, I'm very food focused at the majority of the time. In prep, I made a list of the top 50 foods I wanted to eat post prep. Top 50 on my walks every single day. I would add an extra one and I gave it a checkbox to check when I was done in prep. I'd be like, right, I'll check it off. Not saying that's what to do, but I can also stand here and say I didn't eat off plan once in prep. I nailed my shit. Finn can back me up. All my everything
Yeah.
was to the T. I was at points where I was so anal about my routine that I sent Finn voice notes of me crying because I couldn't go for steps because my dog had to go to the vets. Like I was very much like autistic to the point where if it wasn't like this, I'd freak out, which also isn't great. But again, I was younger. I had never dieted before. It was my first time experiencing anything like that. And this diet, like, even though there'll be times where I'm like, oh, I would quite like to do that, I'm also not going to go off and eat X, Y, Z. And I think that it's something that is glorified a bit more on social media these days. Like, oh, well, I'm in prep and I've binged. Here, what I'm doing. It's like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, at the
No.
end of the day, you know what your goals are for. You know why you're trying to go to a certain place, and this is what you have to do to get there. But off like the reversal is very different. It's a lot harder whenever like your satiety hormones aren't there. You've not got the body fat to signal to your body, oh, I'm a bit more satiated now. But no matter what you eat, you're still going to be hungry post show. But if you're in a show and you know you've got that direction for the show date, like that should keep you on
Make
track.
sure you're, yeah.
Yeah, but like it is something that gets glamorized a lot. Like ugh, I ate off
Even
20.
like even if you look at people's YouTube content and if I look at the views on my channel, big training day, brilliant, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, great, couple hundred views. Full day of eating,
Oh,
2,000 views. And it's like everyone's so food focused and obviously people enjoy watching the content and this and that, but if you're constantly you are setting yourself up for failure a little bit if you are like always just watching food content. As soon as the last show's done, you're let free, boom, you fucking do everything. Like you've got so much time to eat all that other stuff. Like you think that you need to, I remember thinking to myself, like, right, I need to have a Mexican this week and a Chinese, then I need to do an Indian and then a McDonald's the next week, then a KFC and this. And I had it like mapped out what I'm gonna do because I had to tick them all off, like I had to make sure that I experienced it all again because I was like, I miss them so much. I want to make sure I get everything boxed off. You literally get years, like in an off season, most likely after, if anything, at least a few months. Realistically, if you're a natural bodybuilder, you should spend them probably more than a few months in a gaining phase and an off season between your shows. But you're gonna have plenty and plenty of time, so make sure that you understand that and you remind yourself of that because it feels so urgent the need to have everything, but realistically, you've got plenty and plenty of time. So control yourself again, do it in a controlled manner. And again, try not to just be dusting KFCs and McDonald's, so on and so forth on your own. Like actually go out and enjoy meals.
The
Insane.
reason I asked Noah is because I remember implementing something where we basically did like on a rest day, if you want an off-plan meal, replace your final two meals and go and have a meal with your mum or make something or get a takeaway or whatever. Because then it carries over into the next training day. I know Josh was saying about like let's say post-workout, which I get as well. It's one of those like I think peak off season, like when your training's really fucking good, like your post workout meal is going to be a very high carb meal, but like immediately post show, it's probably not quite as high. So if you're replacing that meal with an off plan, like sometimes it can be not quite the same. Like whereas now, like for us lot, because we're all on quite a lot of food, you go for an off plan meal and replace your post workout, and it's like easily covered, or replace your post workout and the
Do
next
it
meal.
the day after in terms of like if you're on like a upper lower rest, have it on the upper. Because if you have that
Yeah,
post
yeah,
out and it's the last meal of the night, you go for a little walk after it, you wake up the next day and you feel like you've got a lot of food there ready to go for that next training day as well. I
yeah.
forgot to mention that I usually try have it on a training day that's followed by another training day, and it's not like your last meal and then you've got a rest day the next day and you don't really do anything with it. I think looking at it as fuel is an important part.
Yeah, I think as well, like Matt said, going to restaurants rather than like KFC or McDonald's, like go to expensive places. Like I know like a lot of people might be pretty skint at the end of a prep, but I'm not saying go to a fucking Michelin star restaurant and spend thousands of pounds and shit, but like don't go to McDonald's. Like don't go to don't have Domino's as like your first off-plan meal. Like, actually go out, take your family out for a nice meal, or like be taken out for a nice meal if you're a young lad and you haven't got more funds post-show. Like, one thing that I did was like with my family after the shows that I actually like I wanted to take people out for food. You know what I mean? That I wanted to sort of give back in that way,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to just be like, oh, I'm going to get everyone a Domino's. Like, I'd rather actually do something and spend time with people. So like that again, if you're going somewhere and it's like quite expensive, like you're less likely to go and eat loads of shit. Again, like Matt said, a buffet, like the last thing you want to be doing, like stupid idea. Do not go to an all you can eat. Like you're a fucking idiot if you do that. Like
All
you're
inclusive
literally
holiday
asking
straight
to
away.
you're literally asking to fuck
Yeah.
yourself up. Like, and people think as well, like, oh, like it's only one meal. Like, I'm not gonna say you can fuck up your whole off season with one meal. Like, that's ridiculous. But
You're so
you
sensitive.
can set yourself up on the back foot straight away, like easily. And like I've been there. Like, I wasn't stupid post show, but also I was in like a pretty bad spot hormonally, very, very, in a prime position to gain fat. Like Josh will vouch for me. Like I wasn't an idiot in Vegas at all, but I still looked fucking awful.
Do you guys
Like,
go for that? Like, do you want to go for it?
yeah, I was.
Fancy that. Like, see when we're walking, do you want to go there? It was never, guys.
Oh, it's okay. It's so
I'd quite like to go there. It was just fancy that. What do you think of that? What do you think of that place? Would you like to try
Mate,
that?
it's horrible. Like, I hate the thought of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing. Like, bodybuilding's cool. Like, getting in shape is cool. Stepping on stage, cool. All the fucking baggage that comes with it, like the food focus and like how you change like that. Like, fucking hate that. Like, you almost want someone to just grab you and shake you and be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Stop it!" Like, you need that sometimes. Like, it's so easy to just get caught up in all of that because your body it's human nature. Your body's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like your body wants you to eat, like
Your body's
because
not
you've
made to
been
get stage lean. There's literally been again
exactly.
tens of thousands of years of evolution to
Yeah.
say there's the healthy level of body fat, and you're going,
Yeah.
fuck you. I'm just gonna
This
do.
is another thing as well. This is why it's hard to get in condition. I think a lot of people think that because it happens a lot now, because a lot of people get in great shape. People
Yeah.
just think it should just happen. And they're like, oh, like no, like it's expected. Everybody should have peeled glutes. Everybody. It's like it's not that easy for one. Two, you have to have a decent level of muscle. But like it's hard, you know. Like I think people just think, and especially now, it's like glorified again on social media. Like, oh, if you just map out your prep properly, it's fucking easy. Like, not for everyone. For some people, yeah. Like Josh, your prep wasn't that difficult. Matt, realistically, your prep wasn't super difficult really right until the end. Like, you know, it wasn't like, oh my God, mate, we're having to dig so hard to get in shape. But for some people, you do. You know what I mean? It depends on so many different factors. It can depend just on how that individual stores body fat, different areas. It can be, you know, basically whether or not that individual is somebody who has a leaner sort of genetic kind of set point where how they were brought up, what was their upbringing like with their food, with their family, like, you know, were they somebody who was
What's
rewarded with
yeah.
food growing up, who was out of shape? Like it's more difficult. Like your habits and things that you were brought up for 20 years, you're not going to get in shape as easily as somebody who's been lean all their life and finds it hard to gain weight. You know, like everybody is different. And I think nowadays it's like, oh no, getting in shape's fucking easy as long as you map it out properly. Like, yeah, it can make it easier,
Yeah.
but still, if you're
I guarantee it.
like, let's say, jumping into a prep maybe, you know, maybe too soon or too heavy and so on and so forth, like, yes, you know, it's going to be a lot harder to get in shape. But even if you've got a perfect setup for your prep, nobody just falls in stage condition. Look at AJ. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think? It's easy for him. No, he's still fucking digging now. You know what I mean? He's already had two shows. He's still trying to get leaner. Like, do you think if it was easy, he wouldn't already be lean enough? Like, I'm not saying he's not. He's fucking shredded. But you know what I mean? He's trying to get that extra, like, 1%. Like, it's fucking hard. Like, it doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my rant.
It's all good, mate. All good.
Thanks, guys.
Another thing. Don't go on an all-inclusive holiday 2 weeks
Yeah.
post-show. Fucking leave the holidays for like a month or so after, probably even like 2 months. I know that I
We do
waited
it
for
like
like
a day later, 2 days later after.
people are literally like the week after going straight to fucking Ibiza or some shit, and
Yeah.
then just going absolutely mental, eating croissants and shit for breakfast, neglecting all the micros, and then they wonder why they put on a load of body fat, and then they're going to have to diet whenever they come back.
I
There's
was
already
doing
someone.
steps when I was away, mate. Like, how did I even gain weight? Like, I'd done like 15K steps a day. You're like,
There's
mate,
somebody
you're
who
busting like
competed.
8K calories like first thing in the morning with like 12 pancakes and Nutella straight away. Like, what did you expect?
There's somebody who did the UK at FBA show and is already went on holiday and is already back in a deficit.
Is this the men's physique guy?
Yeah,
This is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I was gonna. This was what I was gonna
He
say.
won the
Like,
overall at the PCA.
yeah, that guy.
What, Miles?
the wee
Yeah,
short guy,
Uh,
short but
and
super bubbly blonde.
he was making like refeed like videos and all that. I remember watching them. It came up on my TikTok, and then he didn't come up post show for like a couple of weeks. Then all of a sudden, this is what I'm eating on holiday, and then this is what I'm eating to diet down again. Oh, what the fuck?
This is
But
what I was
Who's
gonna
he
say as
coached
well. Like,
by?
I'm not too sure to be honest with you.
This is one thing as well that pisses me off. And I've just kind of done it. People blame the coach. And it's not always like the coach could have given him the best like advice, the best plan ever. He could have ramped his food up straight away. Could have said, right, mate, this is what I want you to do. Ideally, please don't go on holiday straight after. Here's your calories. Like, I want you to, you know, work your food up pretty quickly, get yourself in a healthy spot. And people sometimes just don't listen. You know what I mean? And it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but people just go and do whatever the fuck they want. And then people will look at the coach and go, Yeah, it's that the coach hasn't managed post show. It's like
Yeah, you
maybe
can't
it's the
control. You
athlete.
can't.
You
You
can't
can't
hold someone's hand 24/7.
exactly. You're not there in person. It's like you can help them. You can give them the guidance, but it's up to them to actually, do it.
I
You,
do think that's one thing that did help though. See in Denmark, like having you there
Yeah,
for like
yeah,
immediately post show, like my body weight dropped the day after because we all went out for food, came back and we're just like, okay, I'm happy enough, and you were there to sort of guide me through it. And then it set me up really well for that week. And I think it did really well up until my birthday, which is another thing, like fucking
don't have your birthday. All right,
events that you associate it with food, just don't do them. If it's your birthday, just sack it off. Don't
forget
get a cake.
it.
Make a way cake or something like Brandon does, because that actually looks quite nice. Um,
not a fan of that. I think it
yeah,
looked.
like
Did I seen the reel? I was just like, oh,
I thought it looked all right. Mm,
quite popular to be fair.
mm.
That's another good point though. Some obviously, as we've spoke about this, we've been mentioning like a few people have mentioned breakfast. Like, I love breakfast food. Like, if there's one meal that I'd like to go out for, it would be breakfast. But
Really?
yeah, yeah, I
That's
love breakfast
fucking
food.
just like a
Huh?
fry.
No, no, I wouldn't get a fry up. I would get like some form of like eggs Benedict with then like
Mhm.
pancakes on the side or something. Like I'd get like that kind of breakfast.
Eggs
What's so
Benedict.
That's so
Eggs
that's so gay.
Benedict.
That's so gay.
well, you know what I mean. I wouldn't get like a massive fry up, but like going for breakfast, I like going for breakfast. It's different. You go out for a nice meal in the morning, it feels different. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I've got like, let's say on a Sunday, if you've got like the day off, you went out for a nice breakfast. Like,
Yeah.
I like that the thought of that more than like going out for an evening meal, to be honest. But post show, I would not recommend it because it's like again, you've then got the whole rest of the day still, and like you're saying, like you're not going to be satiated even if you go and eat a lot for breakfast. It's not like oh, I feel full now. I don't have to eat all day. Like you're still, if anything, it kickstarts you wanting more food.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
I
wouldn't
only went out
recommend
for
going out
one.
for breakfast.
I only went out for breakfast once post show. It was like, to be fair, I waited. It was like a month and a half. And if you know, you know. Morrison's breakfasts are fucking incredible. Have you guys had a Morrison's fry up before?
Yeah, and I was like
I don't
seven.
think we have
Mad.
Morrison's in Northern Ireland.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
You don't have
Morrison's
Morrison's.
I haven't seen one
shop
no.
or just breakfasts?
Shop.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy work.
Missing out, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, this eggy bread. No, to be fair, I
Uh,
had it. It did for the rest of the day. I was like, oh, whilst I'm in Morrison's, I may as well look. And I was like looking up, and I was like, I've just eaten X amount of fucking calories for breakfast. I
Yeah.
can't sausage myself out, but it was good to be fair. But anyone in prep don't have a Morrison's breakfast.
so we've got a few like rules, I guess. Don't go to a buffet or all you can eat place. Ideally, don't go on holiday within what, let's say at least like 2 to 4 weeks. Even then, it's still pretty sensitive.
Okay, yeah.
Base off plan or base post show food around like social meals. Don't just be like, oh, I'm going to go to Tesco and buy this. Like, don't do that. Again, go places that are probably a bit more expensive, so you're less likely to fucking eat a shit ton of calories. Don't go out for
Back your
breakfast
food.
if I haven't already said that.
Pull back your food if you are going out for the meal so that you don't go in a
Yeah,
calorie surplus for the day and, mess up the whole kind of week in that sense. But your body's
yeah,
just not, like, if you do fuck it up, you need to go back into diet and your body does not want to do that. Your
Mm.
hormones are not in a good enough position to do so. And I feel like some people, I know we were talking about like have it on a rest day, so the next day it's going to be fuel for training. But like if you think, right, if I eat loads more food today, my training's going to be mint and I'm going to feel good, you're not. Like you can eat all the food in the world, you can eat everything that you want to eat. It's not going to make you feel energized. If anything, you feel worse because your hormones have got no clue what's going on. Your body's went from such an extreme to such an extreme. You're holding so much water, you feel like shit. You hold loads of water, so therefore you look like shit. You look at yourself and you think, oh well, I fucked it anyway, and then you just eat more and more and more, and before you know it, again you're dieting, and like it's a couple of weeks post show, or it's like a month or two post show, you're dieting again. Your hormones aren't in a position to do so, and that is your off season kind of fucked in a sense. I'm not going to say that's the end of the world, but if you've got a year or two, your first, 6
you
to
have
months to a year,
you
like
pretty much
you
have
have
just
fucked it.
fucked your off
Like
season. Yeah,
you need to put more kind of importance on just actually holding yourself accountable post show. I know it's not what you want to hear, but like kind of treating it as if you are still in prep in a sense, like having like actual structure and routine, not letting yourself to just go and do whatever you want. Otherwise, again, you will have to be back in a diet, and your body really, really, really does not want to be there. So I think
I
that's
think if you can have the mentality that the prep doesn't finish the second you step off stage, because like that's the main issue is everyone's like, oh, thank fuck for
done.
that, it's over.
As
Like
Matt
if you
said, like I
can,
deserve it to now. I now
yeah,
deserve
yeah, yeah.
all the work, and all the work's done. So now it's relax.
And like again, even like with coaches, like I would still have athletes if they've been checking in every single morning, every single day, maybe multiple times a day leading up to a show. Don't just go back to weekly check-ins. Like keep checking in every day. Yeah, probably for at least the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. Yeah, and that alone helps feel like the prep's still on. And like by that point, if you've worked food up and you're in a good spot, you've had a few off-plan meals for sure, but you've not gone absolutely fucking mental. Put on a good amount of weight. You're already starting to see some real positives in performance and hormonal function. Then cool. At that point, right, let's go down to twice a week check-ins. Yeah, let's get back. Another few weeks go by, mate. You're fine now. Like you're in a good spot. Yeah, maybe not fully 100% recovered, but like close. Cool. Let's go back to weekly check-ins. And if you need me, obviously in between the weeks, check in, like check in, give me an update anyway. But I think that's another thing is people like go from having so much contact and having and being so regimented and like you say having such a big goal to work towards to then just like nothing
Or
overnight.
when clients just go ghost, like
Yeah,
you literally just don't speak to you at all. You're like, mate, are you okay? But they feel so guilty that they've already ate loads of food, so then they just continue to ignore you, or like something along those lines. Then before you know it, they've put on multiple kg in the space of a week or two, and you're just like, fuck. Like it makes you feel
yeah,
like shit as well as a coach because you're like, I wish I could have helped them more, but they won't communicate. So
yeah,
make sure if you have fucked up, you communicate it with your coach, and don't be like, oh mate, I've fucking gained 6 kg, like, and like giggle about it. Like, but do communicate with him and be like, mate, I've fucked up a little bit, like what
yeah.
can I do?
I would
And be
say as
like,
well,
oh,
like
it's all lost
people
already. Like, you
people
aren't
do fuck
a
up.
robot,
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. You're not a robot. Like, you do have feelings. Expect to, not be perfect and have a few bumps here and there, but like, continue to communicate with your coach. I always say to my clients, like, all or nothing mindset, get rid of it. Like, if everything's perfect, you're filling in your sheets, then everything's all good. So then the second that one thing goes wrong, you stop filling the sheets, you stop communicating, you stop sending your training clips. It's like, I can't help you at that point. You need to take away that mindset. And it's the same thing regarding binge eating and post show. You need to make sure that you continue to accept the good and the bad and talk about it so that you can actually get better at it. So, yeah.
Also,
cool.
don't sack off your coach immediately after your show. Like, stay
100%.
with your coach if you can. I know, obviously, financially, it might be a bit difficult, but
Just that
it,
first month at least.
yeah, it's a lot easier. Like those navigating those first 4 weeks if you've got somebody to still keep you accountable and still keep your head screwed on. I know one thing that we did, Finn, we bumped protein and fat up quite a bit,
Yeah,
and that
I
hopefully
really
helped
like
get
that.
my hormones back in
Yeah.
check, and then food focus was pretty much gone after like 2 months, and hormonally it
Yeah.
felt very, very good.
Makes a lot of sense. Like if you think like fats realistically, because they're the most like calorie dense macronutrient, like they don't get super low within a prep, but like they're probably going to be as low as they can go. Like let's say maybe 40 grams, maybe 35 to 40 for a male, for a female, maybe slightly higher. They're probably no matter who you are, they're probably going to get to that. Even sometimes they might have to get a bit lower. Like it's not ideal, but let's say they might. Like you ramp that up pretty quickly. Already, you see some good benefits from that in terms of satiation, because obviously meals take a bit longer to digest compared to just having like carb-based meals or even just fucking protein meals. And then yeah, like protein, especially again towards the end of a prep, your protein, especially when it comes to peak weeks, is quite low. Like trying to reduce overall food volume and stress on the digestive system. On a show day or even like let's say in the days leading up to the show, protein's going to be like right at baseline. So if anything, that again sort of that big increase post show can massively sort of drop off the sort of the hunger just because you've not been used to having protein as high. Um, I would have protein like pretty high anyway throughout the most of the prep, but when it comes to peaking, it's always going to come down a bit to sort of like preserve or save some space for carbs. But yeah, like I did that with most people last year. It definitely worked pretty well. Just like ramp up protein, not like stupid. I don't have like 400 grams, but going to like maybe 300 or high 200s when like a normal off season they might be at like low 200s, like really quite fucking high to the point where you're like feels like quite a lot per meal. And as long as there's no real digestive stress, which at that point there isn't usually because your body just wants to preserve as many nutrients as possible, you can ramp it up. And again, fats can go like, let's say, up to maybe like 70, 80, maybe even slightly higher straight away. And then just keep carbs at like a more, not like low, but like still enough to be in a decent surplus. But yeah, I definitely think that that worked quite well. And then for you, Matt, like as soon as we noticed that it was like getting you were almost struggling a little bit with food, like
Shitting
mainly
yourself.
from the protein, yeah, shitting yourself. Then we just put it down. Like you just pull protein back down,
Fine.
replace the calories from protein with carbs, and you sorted.
I really like that
As
approach.
a tip, yeah, well, it's good.
I think that's a good chat.
We're done.
Yeah.
We did say till 6:45. It's 6:46.
Ah, that's it. I'm gonna sack everything in as well now. All or nothing.
Or
Just get
nothing.
my meals
Yeah, just
in.
delete it. Delete
I'm
it.
not gonna I'm not gonna pack my bags to go away tomorrow. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
Don't go. Don't
I don't
go.
do that anyway, realistically. Leave it till tomorrow morning. See how it
I need
goes.
to pack to come see you, Finn, as well. Cook all
Yeah.
my food.
Yeah. Let's have a quick 5 minutes. Like my last 5 minutes. What's the plan for this weekend, Matt?
It's the crack.
I'm staying with Finn along with Mikey for a couple of days. So Mikey's going over tomorrow, isn't he? Or
Yeah.
going on to tomorrow, and then I'm going Thursday morning, and then Mikey's obviously competing in the PCA show on Sunday. I've got a client doing the show on Saturday as well, so I'll probably go to that. And then Mikey's got his last show,
Yeah. A week after.
essentially the week after. Yeah, the week after on the Saturday. So I'm just going to stay the full week. May as well. There's no point in me coming home. I wouldn't mind going to that pro or regional qualifier anyway. So I was like, oh fuck it, I'll just not book a flight home and just stay with him.
I didn't know you were doing that. That's cool.
Mate, I told you that, and you were like, yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, mate. I honestly, anyone can stay. Anybody listening to his podcast want to come stay at mine? It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Josh, put the
Anyone.
When they
address.
want to shag me in my car and then they wanted to stay at Finn's house, then
Josh literally put the address on his fucking YouTube.
yeah.
No, nobody go and watch that.
I was gonna say
Um,
watch yourself now saying that. No
um,
one else has noticed.
Matt, do you mind sleeping on the sofa, or do you want me to get the airbed? Try and repair the airbed.
I'll sleep on the sofa. I like
Yeah,
the sofa.
You like that sofa? It's like very
Happy enough. I've slept on some bad sofas, so that one feels pretty premium. Like, feels
the
pretty good.
floor was surprisingly comfy when I slept on it. Got a good floor, mate.
yeah, I've got a
I
Great,
don't
great
like it.
floor. Thank you. But yeah, I think we're done. Spot on.
cool.
Wonderful.
All good.
Thank you all for tuning in once again. Please do like, subscribe. We had a story share as well, which I loved.
You had a few actually.
Mhm.
Yes, please do continue to share on stories, because it does help us a lot. And obviously, like I think that was the way that I found the Once You're In podcast as well, and I feel like a lot of people have found it like that as well. So please do share in your stories, like, subscribe, like interact in some way, shape, or form, because it really does help us. So thank you for that as well if you do so. But yeah,
If you
that's
got
all.
to the end of the video, comment binge.
Yeah.
I hate how everyone does this now. And the thing is, you know what's
Comment
funny?
binge.
Like, especially when channels who have like very minimal views, nobody ever comments. And
Yeah.
like, well, if you got to the end, comment this. Like, you don't get any comments.
Does
Jake comments land on every single one, so I'm sure we'll get him to comment something.
does AJ do it with like NBW? Because I always see in his comments,
Yeah, he does.
everyone just
Yeah,
says NBW, NBW.
crazy. Yeah,
What should we make it? Do we go with binge? Krispy Kreme?
yeah. Comment binge. Comment binge.
Erectile
Yeah.
dysfunction? Could
Comment Josh's cars for homosexuals.
yeah, gay car, bin, shag pad, anything, whatever you want to have. So, right, have a good
Comment banana no way.
banana, no working. Goodbye.